Hello, my name's Emily, and I'm here this morning to talk about a few things. First, I would like to talk about Graphic45 and a new project that I found at my local thrift store. And I'm also going to talk about how I made one of these with Graphic45, and also how I made one or a similar modification using heat and bond. So these looked really neat. They were three of them, and they were in a bag for $1, and it obviously was a kit that someone put together, and only put together one, and because the other two were not put together. But what is here is basically pages for photographing, I would think, pages for, and then it had to go together flowers, and so they were coordinating prints, and it used 12-inch paper. So I thought, well, I would like to do something like this that has coordinating, is a coordinating kit that has some things to go with it that would be good to put together. Now, this obviously must have been made, the actual paper was made to go with this kit, because the way that the paper is, it's 12 inches, but it has this border, and, you know, so it looks like it's coordinated such that that's how they printed the paper. So, and I liked it because it had a place where you could hinge it. Right here was where she had hinged it with grosgrain ribbon, or whoever had put this together. But anyway, a lot of times when I go to my thrift store, craft store, thrift store, junk store, however you want to call it, I get ideas, and when I get in a funk where I feel like I just don't know what to do next, if I go there, there's always something there that when I leave, whether it be with a bunch of stuff that's $1, or whether I leave with, you know, new colored thread or anything like that, I always come home with a good idea of something to do. So I decided that I was going to use, I have 2 Graphic45 kits because it had so many different ideas. And I have a stamp cutting edge scissors here, and it actually is the actual, the way that a stamp is. So I've been using that, and I have been, because these 2 kits that I have, Graphic45 kits that I have, are kind of leftover kits that this was $4.99. This one right here was $4.99. I'm not sure where I got it. Probably not the thrift store, because the thrift store has kind of telltale. So maybe a Tuesday morning, but it's called Children's Hour. And I got it because it was pretty. And I wasn't really planning to make a scrapbook or use this for a children's book. That actually belongs to another kit. But my so anyway, really pretty. And I could do fussy cutting and get just a bunch of different things cut out. So, and maybe I could make some of those little leaflets or flyers or whatever you want to call them, and make something similar. The other kit I have was one my sister told me about, and she said, have you ever heard of Graphic45? And she just thought that this Once Upon a Springtime was just the neatest kit. So I actually, a couple of years ago, made a scrapbook for her with Graphic45 once upon a springtime. So I don't have a whole lot of that left, but I did go through and I did do some fussy cutting with different pictures from this. Particularly, I also noticed that Beatrice Potter was one of the themes in this Once Upon a Springtime that I used when I made the scrapbook for my sister. And I remember going out and buying, you know, a 25-cent copy of Peter Rabbit to see what I could use, because, you know, you can't just use one thing. So it doesn't help that I have a thrift store to go to, because I think if I just sourced what I already have, that I could find plenty of things to do when I get in a funk. This is also picked up at thrift stores, not quite sure where. The only other place I might get something like this would be Tuesday Morning, if you know, if they had something like that. But these are those little, you pick them out, the perforated edges. And I actually also found that I had, these are a bunch of my cutouts, that I also had the fussy cut or the perforated boards for the children's hour. That's not it. And I went on and pulled them out. There they are. They're all cut out. But that's what's neat about Graphic45, is that they have all of these little cutouts that you can use. So I thought, wow, I almost have this, you know, already have this taken care of, because I have already so many resources. This is not at all grunge, which I prefer to work on 18th century old Jane Austen books, and where something like this would not work. This is the 12 Days of Christmas one that I picked up somewhere. This one belongs to Botanical Tea Creation. So they really don't have any kind of. So anyway, I was able to take that and use it. And then what I did was I went through and did a lot of fussy cutting. I cut out any stamps. I cut out a little girl. I cut out the Peter Rabbit, and I cut out a mother reading the story to her child. So the Children's Hour is a monthly thing, and that's kind of makes it a little challenging, which I guess challenging is good if you want that kind of a challenge. But you know, for me, I mostly look that something goes with it, or complements it, or that I can use what's here. So these are examples of the ones that came from the Children's Hour. So I have plenty to work with. One of the things that they had were these envelopes that you cut and folded, and that's what I have here for one of them, is the cut and fold, you know, like little side pockets. So I didn't glue, I glued one, but I didn't glue this one, and I think this one's going to be a pretty one to use. So I may have to do that, but let's get started with my little project here. And we're going to see where it carries us. So these are what I've made. I've made this one, and I made this one, and I made this one. And of course, they're in various stages of preparation. This one here, it was one that, and you can see that I changed it up. I changed it up because I thought it could be used, it should be used as a notepad, not necessarily as a book for pictures. And I have had my, it's not sticking very well, but I did put my velcro here to dry. I think I have it on the other way. Okay. So I need to reglue that. But anyway, you get the idea that that this is really pretty. It's going to always be solid on the outside, and then you embellish the outside. And like I say, I tried to use the complementary colors. For instance, this had some blue, it had some gold, it had some kind of a coral or peach. Those seem to be the big colors, and really all of her, even though she has botanicals, I mean her, I say all of Graphic45 has got pictures of plants or flowers. And maybe it's this particular kit, because this particular kit has to do with seasons of the year. And if, so like in November or October, they would be a lot of pumpkins. I'm not sure what month this is, but so I tried to find some regular paper, some regular, you know, like paper that I could use. And I did do some sewing around the edges. I found this was from a Susan Branch book. And I did, you know, put a pocket here. And because the colors were so pretty, I hated to cover up the cover. I only covered this much of the cover. And the rest of it I used that, oh gosh, I'm not going to be able to say what kind of paper this is. But it's transparency paper. If you're in education and you had to use transparency, adhesive, no, it wasn't adhesive. I'm not quite sure what this paper's called. But also tried to take a tiny bit of lace. This isn't, I mean, it's already busy enough without a whole lot of lace. And I might actually even do some corner folding, corner cuts to help this not be so hard. So, I mean, I might end up doing something like that. But then I need 1, 2, 3, at least 3 tags to go in it. And, you know, that's something that I, you know, haven't done or haven't gotten to the point of figuring out. But I certainly think that there would be plenty of opportunities to come up with some floral tags that could go in it. Most recently, I have bought, or I got a Tim Holtz floral and botanical kind of a, so, I mean, I could find flowers, or I could actually, you know, use an ETC card or something like that. So that's what's going to happen when I get to that point. On this one, I actually sewed this across here. But the way they had it was they had it where you put 2 eyelets and then you tied it on the end. And so that's what I did. I have on this one. So what I did on this one was I did find some pictures, and I was able to sew the velcro here, and this is one of the floral Tim Holtz pictures. And of course this one says March, so we know that it is windy days and wind and things of this nature. But, you know, this is as far as I've gotten on that one. In fact, I haven't even put pockets. And I probably will do a similar pocket with that clear plastic so that the picture can still show when you're putting it together. But it really is pretty, and the colors gives you an automatic purple and green color scheme. And this is the kind of thing you do sort of want it to go together. So, but it would also be great in a pocketbook. It would also be good for a little girl to have it have a strap on it and carry it with her and have her things to color or cut when she's in the car. It would also be good for a mother to take in her pocketbook and write groceries or whatever she's got to do, grocery lists and that sort of thing. And so the third one, I did finish this one more, and I used the clear plastic sheets again, and it is it just is beautiful paper, and it has so many neat sayings on them. And this one, because purple is in the, I put a piece of embossed paper down, and then I found a little envelope that could be, something could be stuck in that, or it could actually be, I left the sticky thing on it. And then instead of using regular writing paper, I used this just in case a mother wanted to put some sort of a picture frame on it and use it in that way. And then I used the plastic sheet here, and I used a little collaged motif here. And then I used one of the stamps, and I added the same color here. I added to the pocket and added one of the little sayings from the paper. So just so much to do. A little violet, since violets seem to be in the color scheme. And it's a picture of a little girl who is, well, in the spring, let's see, yeah, she has a grasshopper crawling on her hand, and so they're looking at that. So that would be, and then I fussy cut this, which is also one of the pictures on it. And this is what the outside really looks like, and it's just really pretty, So those are the things that I did. So to start, I actually tried for the first time making my own of these, and I'm just still learning how to do that. And I noticed that my paper wasn't stiff enough. The paper wasn't stiff enough because it wants to curl up here. And also, I probably should have have 2 layers right here. But I've seen a tutorial on it on YouTube by someone, I don't remember who, maybe, well, I just can't say. This, I used vinyl heat and bond. And, it's the regular, it's just like the heat and bond that you would use, but instead it's vinyl. Let's see if I can find it. Well, this is the paper that came with. It says heat and bond, flexible vinyl. And well, I can't really actually show it. It has really good instructions, and it's really good for putting an applique on something. And it actually shows and gives you the instructions for how to do it. And this is actually what it looks like. I don't know on the screen if you're going to be able to tell too much from it. It's going to probably be a big bad glare. But you actually peel this off, and then you lay down what you want face down, and you iron it. And then that's it. So it's only a 1 step, whereas regular heat and bond, you use 2 steps. So that's an interesting way to use heat and bond, if you can find it. Now, when I went to the store and got this, I thought I was getting, either the pink or the red heat and bond. And because I saw heat and bond and I was in a hurry, and I always go over and check to see. Now, heat and bond's not that expensive, but if you use a lot of it, say for a book or something, then it is going to be expensive. But I didn't realize until I got home that it's heat and bond vinyl. because I was running low on the purple that I use. And so then I also found a K & Company has a pretty neat, that this was $1.25. It had never been opened, and it has some of the, and so I used one, pulled it out. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little applique type things on it, or ornamental or stitched adornments is what K & Company calls it. And so I used that here, and then I did make the clear plastic pocket. You can hardly tell that that would not be a very deep one, because I also put the eyelet here. And then again, this is kind of a learning experience for me. So, you know, part of it is just for play, and the other part of it is if I do decide to put this in a junk journal, then I might have to change how it opens, or move this pocket so that it's going this way instead of that way. But I also have the clear plastic pocket here, so that we do have 2 pockets to work with, and I haven't done anything on the back. But what I thought I would do would be to see how you would put these little eyelets that I did. You put it right in the middle, or you know, on either side. So I would want to take a ruler, and so this is 4 inches, and so I would probably want, I'm going to go ahead and mark that, a 1 inch here, and a 1 inch here. These are a lot of fun to work with, because you really, I mean, I'm kind of doing it as I go along, and it has, you know, it's working. Oh, whoops, I guess I'm not going to go 1 inch, because this is as far as it goes. Now, I did try to do the hole punching the old-fashioned way. You know, where you take your hammer and you take this and you punch it. I did try that, and it was very cumbersome, because I didn't think about this being in the middle and not being able to reach with my crop-A-Dile. So I'm going to need to find I found a deep stapler, but I need to find a deeper crop-A-Dile. I'm not sure if the one that looks like a stapler is one that you can go further in. I'm going to have to do the research on it, or you can let me know in the comments below if that's something that you know something about. I would appreciate, or if you have one of those other ones that kind of looks like a stapler, then I would be happy to learn about that, because this, if you're going to work with this, there are going to be times when you're going to need to have deeper than, well, this isn't even 1 inch. So, but anyway, it is interesting to see how this is done. And let's see if I can get this in here without it coming up on me. I don't know how I was able to do it a minute ago. I went with gold, because I thought that that would be something that I would, and yeah, that would help. I love using this crop-A-Dile though. And then you just take a piece of string and you would take your pages, and let's say I'm going to take, I'm just going to actually take some pages that I have worked with before, or pages that I have coffee dyed. It's kind of a thick paper. In fact, it's got hearts on it. So, but this is what I went with, and so I'm going to go ahead and go in right here and right here. Not that I really think it makes a difference, because I think the crop-A-Dile's not going to go any further than that anyway, but yeah, that's about as deep as it goes. And then I'm going to take me some ribbon and wrap it around. And so with playing with the, actually playing around with the colors, in that case it was fun. And then I, finishing up, putting the finishing touches on them as far as how, it would look. It is a way of using Graphic45 paper, because it's a pretty paper, and that didn't go all the way through. And here, and then we will slide this right up, and that will do for this. All right, so here we go. We've got a little book, and we can tie this, bow or a knot, or however. We could actually even add hearts on a string if we wanted to. But, and there would certainly be places or ways that I could add, decor or something to these pages if I wanted to put a little collage on it, or something like that. But it gives us what, it got me to the point where I was experimenting with different things and learning some new techniques for getting projects made like that. So that is what I have done with that. What I'm going to talk about now is after a while I was tired of working with the Graphic45, and so I decided that I would try to find me something different to work with, and I ran across this piece of tissue paper. And I had been doing some work with I was looking for something purple. And the only thing that I could find was that sheet and this other sheet here. And so I had heat and bonded the dark purple to a more of a paler color, because I was going to use it in a book as the outside of a book. And I thought I would just experiment with trying using heat and bond on wallpaper. This is actually, so I tried the purple. Now I only use what heat and bond I have. So what I had was this red well, it actually is colored. The color is on it. And again, Heat and Bond is not that expensive, but if you go to purchase it, you know, depending on the bulk or how much you want, I mean, you'd probably just want to purchase enough for the project that you're working on. So this was $1.50, and obviously it's never been opened, but Heat and Bond comes in colors. So this is what they call a heavy duty, ultra strong hold. And so it would be the red. And if you want to use this on a project, you really shouldn't, like I would not want to, if I use the strong ultra hold Heat and Bond, then I would not be able to really do a stitch through it. I guess it's either not good for the sewing machine or to break the needle, or it's too thick. That's just like what they say is on when you're making facial masks for COVID-19, don't put Heat and Bond on it. Don't use Heat and Bond, only use Pellon, because you can't really breathe through it. So it's that thick. I saw this was a pretty floral motif here that would be good on that other book I'm working on. So I just colored the dark purple across here to get it. But again, it's the same piece of, the same book of wallpaper. So this is a piece of Heat and Bond that is an ultra light, or yeah, ultra light, L-I-T-E, ultra light, whatever. This Heat and Bond is preferred, and the reason is because you can actually stitch through it. I still would not use it on a mask where I would, you know, but it is a lot thinner than the red. So, but you know, it comes with a rough edge and a smooth edge, and this is not like the vinyl where you just put it on one layer and the other layer is shiny. You actually have to take this and you stitch it onto the paper, and it makes, and then you have to go to the other side and put something on the other side, you know, a backing of some sort. So here's one that I just did because I like the flower on this one, and I did it on white cardboard because that's what I had. But I'm working on something that's going to have a dark purples and the pale violet purple or lighter colored purple. This is such a pretty piece of wallpaper that I want to do something with it. So I put newsprint on the back of this one. But that's using the ultra hold that you know you can usually get in quantities, you know, like so. But the one that I have now is one that I am using for that's the ultra hold. Came in a folded packet. So what I'm needing to do now is get to the point where I'm finishing this. And so I wanted to show how I used one of the things that I came across in my thrift store is this whole box of snaps, and it was $4, and I thought, oh my gosh, look at all these snaps. Surely I could come up with something to do with these snaps. But I think that it's easier said than done. And if you can come up with anything to do with these, or you want some of these, if you will subscribe to my channel, to my Emily R. Strader YouTube channel, and send me your, send me an email with your address, I will happily send you some of this, and I will happily send you, say, five different yards of lace, because I've got enough lace. So that's going to kind of be a challenge. You're welcome to some of these snaps, because I don't think I'm going to be able to use them. I've tried several things, and it's just not working. It's going to, and so what I ended up doing was using hem tape, because this was so pretty. So I thought that I would put that here So if I get my glue, what I did was I took Tim Holtz Distress. It's a paper pack. It's called Distress, and it's all solid colors, and it's a thick cardstock. And I found a color that would complement it or go with it. That, you know, has that gold tone. They didn't, you know, I could have used green or I could have used that brick red, but I didn't have paper that would go with that. So I chose to use this sort of a clay, maybe yellow, for that. But I made a snap for it, is what I was, you know, getting at. But and then I used embroidery floss, you know, used it full strength and put that on there, and also I glued it. And then I put a back, or, you know, a protector right here to keep the glue together on this side. And I do think I want this to be a kind of a rounded edge here. And so I would want to put it on that side as well. And so I went on and made the pieces that I wanted to go with it, so that I could have it here for us to look at. And let's see, if you fold this way, then you would probably want the pocket to be this way instead of this way. So I would glue, and then I used that same, I did a decorative stitch in kind of a dark burgundy brick, and then I used that clear plastic so that you could, you know, so that you could see that. It would kind of be a nice way to show. And also it's shiny, but you know, I thought for storage purposes that we probably do want to have you know, pockets for storage. So I would have to press that down because the snap is getting in the way. And then this one, I had to go with this so that it would, you know, not mess with that. But I still think that I should put some sort of a, I don't know if I can do that. That's not going to work, so I can't do that. But I will glue this down so it can kind of have a look. But, you know, this is completely different than Graphic45. It's just paper that I found that I thought was pretty enough to have kind of different colors and, you know, off colors blending together nicely would work as well. And then if I wanted to, here on the back, I could put this and have it be a pocket somehow. I could do that. And then I'm going to take my paper. I don't know, my paper might be cut too, yeah, it's cut too wide. But I'll go ahead and cut it with my scissors. Cut it down. It's already lined, so it will work. But that I would join it together the same way that I joined the other together, so that it would look, you know, look like that. And it would be a snap. But I've got to decide what to do with this, whether to There's several things I thought about. I thought about having it go over in sort of a bun, if you will. And you know, do it like that, or take, it's 4 strands because I put one on one side and one on the other, so divide it in half and make it into a make it into a bow that stays. I would probably want to glue it in such a way that it would stay. That, you know, that's just a simple way to think about it. But again, I'm working on that. So that's just an example of a little pocket item or something that could easily go into a journal. It has possibilities, so tissue paper and heat and bond and Tim Holtz paper work together, and the snap. So that concludes what I have done here this morning so far on this project, and how I am working on trying to come up with ways to make different items work. This is the vinyl is good, except that it is slippery, so you can't really, you know, if you put something on there, you're going to have to make sure that you're using a good type of glue, and also working on how to put these together. I think that they're just as cute as they can be if I can come up with a way to do it that it doesn't look like I'm trying to learn to do it. So we'll see how I come along on that. So I am trying to grow my YouTube subscription and like my channel, my YouTube channel, and subscribe. I'm trying to get, I'm just a beginner, so I'm trying to get 100 subscribers. And so I've got about 40 some more to go. So if you are among the first, say, 5 to like my channel, this particular video on conversations around Graphic45 and heat and bond, then I would be happy to connect with you and get rid of some of my lace and get rid of some of my snaps. So let me know if you're interested in that. But thank you for taking the time to watch this. Again, my name is Emily. My YouTube channel is Emily R. Strader. That's S-T-R-A-D-E-R. And my Etsy store is Yesterday's Stash. And just have found this whole process. I'm fairly new to the whole community, and am learning as I go. So I've been at YouTube for a couple of years, and maybe YouTube a couple of years, and the Etsy store is maybe 2 years old, but it's a work in progress. So I appreciate your coming along with me as I embark on this neat journal with junk journal, this neat journey of junk journals. So we'll talk again. Thank you.